riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick an album or a song, listen to it for an entire week straight, and then come back here and tell you, our fine listeners, whether or not we hate it, and of course, if we do, why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Justine Bateman to my Jason, Timothy Richardson. Justine, how are you doing, Bubba?
It has been a weird week, Garrett.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, listen, I know you hate it when I start stories with while you were asleep, but Garrett, several nights this week, while you were asleep, these two fucking guys came into our living room, kitchen, meeting hall, couch bed, bedroom area, and one of them, Garrett, was, I can only describe it as shrouded in a deep black garment, and has concealed his head, his face, his form. It left nothing of it visible save for one outstretched hand. And this, dare I say, phantom, draped in hooded monstrosity, just kept pointing at me and telling, if I'm being honest, it looked like a much younger version of me, maybe 16 or 17 years old. It just kept saying, this is how you end up if you stay on the path you were on. And then, they leave. But then the next night, they come back and the good spirit, if you will, said, listen, since I was apparently unclear earlier, do not become friends with Garrett Harvey. You got it? This does not end well, you silly goose. I can't really do the voice.
Right.
Imagine a very wealthy Louisianian dandy. Didn't go with a look at all, but it was unsettling nonetheless, is my point.
Your ghost of Christmas future is Truman Capote?
Kinda. Yeah, it might have been Truman Capote. What's he up to?
He's dead as shit.
Right, so it might have been him.
Yeah, he might be showing people their future. Interesting.
I just don't like the idea that I'm already the end stage worst case scenario. That's not cool.
It's not ideal, but I'll give you a silver lining. That implies it's not going to get any worse.
It might imply it's about to end.
Well, there's also that. But look on the bright side. At best, this is rock bottom, and we're doing great.
We are doing great, friends.
Thriving. Yes. Thriving at rock bottom. Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. You've got to get away from this man. As you can see, several years down the road, you end up living together in not the most interesting of ways. I don't even know what a couch bed is.
He does. That's not true.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. Goodness. Well, foreboding ghosts of past and future aside, and by the way, feel free to just ever answer that question, I'm fine, how are you? That'd be great. But, what's done is done. Tim, what album have we been listening to when not being haunted by our younger selves?
We have been listening to Brat, Charli XCX's 2024 album.
And Tim, inquiring minds want to know, we took a survey, 99 out of 100 dentists agree. Do you hate this album?
Not yet, but I think there's hope. I think I could really go either way this week, Garrett. I think I am open to a lot of different things. What about you? Do you hate this?
I hate that sentence. No, I don't think so. I don't think I hate it. I'll say this. I think I could really go either way with it this week.
Okay, come on. I don't care for that one bit.
No, I mean, I might end up firmly not hating this or deeply despising it.
Yeah, it'll probably be one of those two things, and it's usually one more so than the other.
Typically. But before we can get there, we've got a bit of work to do. So let's move on. Tim, I'm curious, prior to this week, what's your exposure to Miss Charli XCX? Listen, it's well documented. You have been living a Brat summer for nigh on 18 months. But I'm curious, are you familiar with the artist and her music?
Absolutely not, Garrett. I had no idea why I was having such a Brat summer or why people kept telling me that. Honestly, I finally get to see what people meant by that, and I have to say, I fully agree. I am having, and will continue to have a goddamn Brat summer. I will say I thought this was Chappell Roan.
Yes. Yeah, she's Pink Pony Club, though.
Right. That's what I thought this was, and it's not.
No, it's not. No. It's really not.
No. That would have been fun. Garrett, have you heard this before?
Oh my, no. No. What is this? I knew that this was not Chappell Roan. However, I thought the two were somewhat interchangeable in their style. And that is incorrect.
Right, because that other thing would have been fun.
Yeah, I think we would have firmly not hated it and enjoyed the album for its ridiculousness. This,
it's kind of a downer.
Is she okay?
I don't think so. I think she she needs to stop comparing herself to Taylor Swift, is what I think. Yeah, listen, I don't. I used to. Sure. I got the short shorts. I got that red women's swimsuit thing. It wasn't great, but I have moved on. I do not, I mean, it took some therapy, but I don't need to compare myself to her anymore.
Yeah. Unwinnable game, Charlie. Unwinnable game. Aim lower. Compare yourself to
Tim.
Tim. We don't have to push you down to raise Charli XCX. Also, I've seen your moves. You spent a great deal of time comparing yourself to Taylor Swift. I gotta say, after a week with Charli XCX, she's close.
Yeah, I think I can pull off a Charli.
Yeah, she's a better singer. I'll say that. You're a better songwriter.
Oh, yeah. They're about almost the exact same topic, though, which is how much I just want to be fucking Taylor Swift. How much I would like to be Taylor Swift, not how much I would like to be fucking Taylor Swift. It's a distinction because I use profanity when I need not.
Right. Yeah, it's not a sexual thing for you and her.
It's weirder.
No, it's way weirder.
Okay.
It's way weirder. You guys have no shared trait, capability, or interest that would allow anyone to compare you to in a even remotely reasonable way.
Right.
It's like comparing a doorknob to a horse.
I was hoping you were going to say apples to oranges, but your thing also is unlike the other thing. Am I the doorknob or the horse?
You're the doorknob.
Okay.
Obviously, you fucking knob. Tim, we must move on. That's our history. That is to say, we have almost none, except for that weird doorknob part. Before we can get into the album itself, I am super curious to learn a bit about this woman. So, Tim, take me on a journey. You've done the heavy lifting. You've spoken to the people in these tales. Tell me the story of Miss Charli XCX and how we all came to have that Brat summer.
Charles XC Xavier.
I should have seen that coming.
Also known as Charles Xavier, sometimes known as Charlotte Emma Atchison, was born in Cambridge, England in 1992 to a Scottish father who worked as a talent agent and was also presumably a big X-Men fan, and a flight attendant / nurse mother who was of Indian descent but grew up in Uganda and was expelled by the Idi Amin regime during the 1972 expulsion of Asians, but mostly Indians, from Uganda. Go check out that Last King of Scotland film for more on that. Charles went to a fancy British private school and was apparently bullied for being part Indian. She loved music early on, particularly Britney Spears and the Spiced Girls, girl power, and began writing songs at 14. She took the name Charli XCX from her MSN screen name, or MSN Messenger, I don't know, the one that's not AOL, and this is apparently true, got a loan from her parents to make an album at 14, which she kind of self-released as a mixtape in 2008. It was never officially released, but she would later go on to call this, and I'm quoting here, fucking terrible MySpace music and gimmicky dance tracks. And I would kind of like to hear that, because after listening to this album of gimmicky dance tracks, I don't know what the difference could possibly be.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the bad version.
Yes. She allegedly has sound to color synesthesia. She enjoys black, pink, purple, and red music, but hates green, yellow, or brown music. I would assume that this album is green, which is one of her hated music colors based on the cover. I myself, of course, do not have this particular condition, but I do hear screaming and taste copper anytime I eat enchiladas. Hearing the word baseball taste like cantaloupe to me. Thursdays are, of course, female dwarfs. Fridays have those beards that don't have mustaches with them. Kay is a very responsible woman. Never trust a 7. 11 is wise. The number 1 smells like cabbage. And 100 looks like the Central Park pigeon lady from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the motion picture.
Okay, I can kind of see that. It's a little wider than I'd picture, but I sort of get that. I definitely find numbers pleasing, specifically palindromes.
Yes, and you, of course, will translate everyone's name into the letters of everyone's name into numbers, add those numbers together, and then assign that person a value.
Yeah,
as if you're doing some sort of gematria. Is that gematria?
Unfamiliar. This is just something I've always naturally done.
Fair enough. Garrett, Charles posted songs on MySpace and such, released a couple of singles on something called Orgy Music, and got invited to perform at what the internet describes as numerous illegal warehouse raves and parties and East London, which her terrible, terrible parents apparently took her to, and that is too supportive. I've always been a fan of the Patton Oswalt style of parenting, where parents are incredibly lame intentionally to make you want to go out and experience the world on your own.
Yeah, I don't really know what would happen if my parents had been supportive of my creative endeavors.
Well, not your creative endeavors, Garrett. We've all seen the book of poetry. That is to be discouraged.
Accurate.
She moved to London to go to University College London's School of Fine Arts while also doing this weird rave thing. She was signed to Asylum Records in 2010 when she was 18. She was taken to LA and met producer Ariel Rakstad, who you probably know as a producer for Vampire Weekend and also the producer of Plain White Teases' Hey There Delilah, whom she liked despite knowing about that Delilah business.
Oh, it's what you do to me.
That's enough of that. She dropped out of college to focus on music, started releasing singles, and people seem to like them, in particular a Swedish remix of one of her tracks called I Love It. She got a job touring as a supporting act with Coldplay, Sleigh Bells, and the Ting Tings. You like the Ting Tings, right?
Ooh, the Ting Tings. I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, who does? She released some mixtapes and EPs and such before releasing her first real album, True Romance, in 2013. Synth poppy thing. It did really well, actually. It hit number 7 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It was a number 1 record in the UK.
Wow.
She immediately began working on a second album, initially saying she wanted to go to India to record it, then deciding maybe France. The album Sucker was, of course, recorded in Sweden and released in 2014. I feel personally attacked by the title of the record. It was apparently kind of a pop-punk thing, and she worked with Rivers Cuomo and Dr. Luke at various points to get that thing done.
Yikes.
Yeah. She went on the Girl Power North America tour, which was her first headlining tour, and then she opened for Katy Perry. In 2016, she provided the voice for one of Garrett's all-time favorite animated characters. That's right, Willow from the Angry Birds movie, alongside Jason Sudeikis, Josh Gad, Daniel McBride, Blake Shelton, Maya Rudolph, and Sean Penn, amongst numerous other of your favorite Hollywood stars, as well as Limp Bizkit performing Behind Blue Eyes. Be sure to check out the Angry Birds movie 3, aka Angry Birds 3, the big one, recently announced for January 29th, 2027, only in theaters, where you can join Red and Chuck for more new, fun, and electrifying adventures. Until then, pass the time by rewatching the first 2 Angry Birds movies or the upcoming Angry Birds Double Cross reality game show.
Reality game show?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Hold on. Okay, we got to stop because you've given this a lot of time and attention. First of all, you're clearly being paid to do this.
I mean, listen,
gonna need to get, no pun intended, gonna need to wet that beak. If you're getting money from the Angry Birds people, I need a taste. Second of all, I remember when the first Angry Birds movie came out, and pretty much everyone had the same reaction. Wait a minute, do people still play Angry Birds?
That is not what people thought. That's not what they thought. Everyone was like, we're super on board because we all love Angry Birds.
I am beginning to think you've never played that game.
Don't fucking ruin this spot for me, man.
This is big money.
Well, it's not big money, but it is money.
That's true. And as Truman Capote's ghost pointed out, we're not doing great.
Fair. She released the Vroom Vroom EP in 2016, followed by the mixtapes Number 1 Angel and Pop 2 in 2017, and then got to open for Taylor Swift. She released her third actual album, Charli, in 2019. She worked with 100 Gex, which makes a ton of sense. She did a pandemic album, How I'm Feeling Now, in 2020, followed by Crash in 2022. 2022.
Ooh.
Also, 2022, she started dating the drummist for the 1975, which is semi-notable for this album since George is referenced several times throughout, and also since Matthew Timothy Healy, aka Matty Healy, the singer of the 1975, was maybe dating Taylor Swift for some time in here as well, and that definitely is going to come up on this stupid album.
Yeah, I wish it didn't.
Yeah. She headlined Coachella in 2023.
God, I hate you.
She was on the Barbie
Say it
soundtrack.
normal.
I am pronouncing all the letters. She released the album of the week on Leap Day, Garrett's favorite day of every 4 years.
Ugh.
Well, okay, fair enough. My favorite day of every 4 years, the day the cycle is complete, February 29th, 2024. And I don't want to ruin how it did or what people thought about it just yet, but everyone seemed to kind of like it.
Reasonable.
Then, Charli XCX interfered, meddled really, Putin style, in our election system with her July 22nd, 2024 tweet, Kamala is Brat. Which, I mean, she kind of is, admittedly. But that's neither here nor there. Realizing the opportunity to connect with that all-important British youth demographic, the Kamala Harris campaign jumped on this, changing their image to an imitation of the album cover with Kamala HQ instead of Brat. Charli then said it wasn't supposed to be an official endorsement, rather just a description of Miss Harris, who is in fact Brat, but she was happy to prevent democracy from falling forever, which does seem like an endorsement. The problem, Garrett, is that she didn't do enough to make sure that angry white male vote, to make sure those men were having a Brat summer as well, apparently, because that demographic voted for the worst in just droves. Our demographic, I should say. And again, despite the fact that the fall of democracy continues to develop, Brat was named the word of the year by Collins English Dictionary, and Brat Summer was the biggest pop culture moment of 2024, according to Forbes. She also has an upcoming slate of films that are coming out as well, including a movie based on the Middle Eastern folk tales 1001 Nights and the psychosexual erotic thriller I Want Your Sex.
Little on the nose, but I'm listening.
Yes. And that's it, Garrett. Peace and chaos be upon you.
Peace and chaos be with you as well. Great history, Tim. That is to say, it is over. Didn't learn anything terribly interesting, except that, I guess, spoiler alert, this lady's British.
Let's get into general thoughts, because that actually brings up my first general thoughts. What does her voice sound like? Because
British garbage.
No, Garrett, it sounds like robot garbage, because every goddamn thing she says on this thing is sung by robots who auto-tuned themselves like a second time.
Yeah, when she's singing some of these songs, many of them, I should say, because there's 15 of them. That's too many. They are auto-tuned to holy hell, which I honestly don't even clock anymore. But let's take a step back.
It bothers me because, listen, you've heard my voice. We don't auto-tune me on this show. She can't possibly have a worse voice than me.
No, we should auto-tune you.
No, we shouldn't.
I think that's the lesson.
Okay, god damn it.
Yeah, I'm on your side. You got me there. You talked me into it. We should definitely make you sound more like her.
You're saying rude things, and I don't like it.
Well, I don't have an end to that sentence that isn't crushingly mean. So we'll move on. Lots of questions here. Let's get to the nut meat, shall we? She's British. This is electropop?
Yeah, it feels like what Gwendolyn Stefani's Lobster Asshole Martini Baby would turn into 2 decades later, but I'm 90% sure she hasn't heard that album.
No, nor should she have. It's like diet house music.
Yeah, I looked up what genre it technically is, and they had several options. There's dance pop, there's electropop, there's synth pop, there's something called dark wave. And
that's made up.
And there's something called witch house.
Witch house?
It's like house music. You know house music?
Yeah.
Imagine it performed by witches.
I'm into it.
It's not inaccurate as far as descriptions go.
You can eat my candy house. house. Anyway, we can't do house music all day. I'm curious, Tim, because I was here, I was living it. You may have been out of country. Where were you in the year 1999 to 2002?
I was in high school in these United States of America.
Okay, so you were around for the late 90s, like rave electronic music boom.
Yeah, kind of. Like the Prodigy and stuff stuff of this nature, or is that even earlier?
No, that's definitely what I'm talking about. You got, see if any of these light a bulb for you. Do you know BT?
No.
You know this one, Darude Sandstorm?
I know of it.
You know it. Anyway.
I know it based on what you just did, yes.
Great. Daft Punk, of course.
Yeah.
Probably the most mainstream. Prodigy you mentioned. Eiffel 65. I'm blue and da-dum-dee-da-dum-da. You know this one?
Yes.
Propeller Heads. They did the Matrix song when they're blowing shit up. And then, of course, like Chemical Brothers. Those are kind of my touchstones.
What about Moby?
And then, of course, Moby.
Okay.
He's a bit of a four-letter word on the show ever since the incident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Legally, we can't tell you what that is, folks. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's boring and it's repetitive. And I recognize that this is dance music, so she made the intentional choice to be very repetitive. But
Sure.
you have mandated that at least 80% of my listens be non-dance listens at this point. And on my non-dance listens, this kind of sucked.
Yeah, if you're not moving that body to those beats, it's a little boring.
Right. Now, if you are, not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad. And okay, so we've talked about her voice, we've talked about the music. The music's diet house and varies wildly, but the one key consistent piece is it is pop music. It never really goes full electronica, which is a shame. The topics, Tim. There's really only two.
I might have a third all-encompassing one for you that I'm assuming you didn't get, but go for it.
So, insecurity. And, God, maybe there's just the one.
Well, no, you're forgetting about the petty grievances, Garrett.
So many petty grievances.
Yeah, the problem with this is, and part of what I dislike, I think, the most about this is that this thing is chock full of references, and I don't get a goddamn one of them. There's beefs, there's disses, there's characters that span multiple songs. I have absolutely no idea who any of these people are. It's as bad as your random, SoundCloud rap. I looked a couple of them up, and then I had to do more research to figure out what I was looking up. Are
we old? Is that the problem?
Well, yes, we are. And let me give you, so on the deluxe edition entitled Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not cool. There is a song called Hello Goodbye that is not a Beatles cover, and I don't think there's a better metaphor for this album and me just not connecting, because this is for people that are much, much younger than me.
And that brings me to my first question. Be honest. What do you think is an acceptable age cutoff to be a fan of this album?
I mean, it depends, because if you're dancing to it, I don't think there is one.
What if you're listening to it in the car?
Ooh, are you dancing? If you are, 30.
20. Okay, I was going to say 25.
If you're dancing. If you're not dancing, if you're in that car just listening, if you're in that car singing along, I think 17's a bit old.
If you're in that car singing along, I think you need to go talk to somebody. This is not a sing-along to song album.
Yeah. A lot of it sounds like a robot malfunctioning and just repeating the last word it said over and over and over again.
You get angry and hit next.
Yeah. But, Garrett, the interpersonal problems, the drama, the intrigue, the paranoia, they are on the level of somebody in middle school or somebody slightly older with a really significant social anxiety disorder. But either way, this is a complex network of nonsense that clearly exists only in her head, and it's nightmarish. But it is so complex and unnecessary that parts of it feel like she's describing being like a spy embedded in a foreign governmental structure. She doesn't know who to trust. She's worried that people are catching on to her and maybe everyone's looking at her and trying to figure it out. Never sure that a Garrett Harvey-like figure isn't just going to emerge from the shadows and take the state's revenge. Your Good Shepherds or 3 Days of Condor, The Conversation, even something like The Departed.
What about a Jason Bourne?
Sure. Less action though. It's more the first part where it's all just sideways looks and stuff.
Yeah. Also in the real world, a proper fight is not something terribly interesting to watch. If you've done it right, there's no struggle.
Yes, absolutely. And I can vouch for this, often do it right. But it's so much like that, Garrett, that I actually suspect that might be what this is, right? She's using the dumb relationships and insecurities about Taylor Swift or Marina DM or Lord, whomsoever the fuck, as a metaphor so she can explain that she's stressed out with the intrigue and mind games in her life as a spy without blowing her cover. And maybe that's why it's so auto-tuned, Garrett. She's disguising what she actually sounds like.
So you're saying, just so I'm following, there's a chance that Charles XCX is an undercover Six. There it is. They added one. MI6. I'm used to the old one. MI6 agent a la 007 who is expressing her frustrations with the job through petty metaphor and childlike antics in the songs.
Yes, and she might be a reluctant agent. We'll get into it. I have notes on all of this. It's not going to get interesting. I'm so sorry.
No. Okay, well, that's it. That's an unfortunate end to that sentence. I'm sorry you've tipped it because now you're going to be forced to defend it, which is a shame for all of us. But we'll play along, see how it plays out.
Can I throw something else at you? We never mentioned it again, and we delete this part of me saying that.
Let's split the difference. Leave it in. Openly admit we're just dumping the bit right here. Let's just let everybody know we don't think we can maintain it.
We'll see. I'll try.
We'll see. Yeah. And you know what? If we give it up 7 songs in, no one will notice. God damn it. Yeah. All right. I think we've really done a good job of setting the stage here. Are we ready to get into these songs?
Yeah.
Great. Track number 1, 360.
Yeah, you're so inspired.
We start off with some bouncy synths that I'm initially not against. It sounds like montage music for some sort of 80s movie like Fletch or something like that. And then I really don't like the autotune lyrics. It hit me immediately. Just, nah, I'm good.
What's funny is it gets so much worse.
Absolutely. I think this is intended to be sort of a girl power anthem, but with like a heaping helping of narcissism, because all of these songs, they do sound like Spice Girls songs with, well, they don't sound like them, but the lyrics, you can kind of be like, oh, that's what she was maybe going for, with the exception that it's not all girls, it's specifically her. That's the only person she gives a shit about.
It does come off very self-aggrandizing.
Yeah. She says, I went my own way and I made it. I'm your favorite reference, baby. Call me Gabriette. You're so inspired. I'm tectonic. Moves, I make 'em. Shock you like defibrillators. No style, I can't relate. I'll always be the one.
It's interesting you said MI6 because I kind of landed in the same spot.
Ooh.
I think she might be familiar with The Saint.
Yes.
The Val Kilmer
Very
vehicle.
familiar.
Interesting response.
1997. It was a good year for Val Kilmer films.
What's happening? Please stop. I'm terrified. Why do you have such an active knowledge of The Saint? You know what? We can't get into it. Can't get into it. Oh, man. Elizabeth Shue, though.
Right. 1997 Elizabeth. I only know the one thing.
I'm still into it. I think that she is some sort of saint-like person who goes around running these cons and scams, not for any one government or personal gain, but she works for a brand or set of brands to set global trends so that everyone can sell their wares to idiots. But she's saying, like, I'm the one who's going around and setting all these trends. You're going to do whatever I tell you to. If you have no style, I can't relate to that because my job is literally to get people to buy garbage.
I like it. I think that's accurate. And I mean, it goes along with some other things on this album that we will get into. But yeah, I mean, it rings hollow, but it is a very, like, she did it her way. She's sort of a Frank Sinatra character, noted feminist.
Nice can, baby. I bet it would look a little better if you took those pants off. You're so charming, Frank. He was not.
He was for the time, though. That was...
God, what a time. Yeah. I don't hit women much. He's good to me. God.
Yeah.
Song continues. Drop down, yeah. Put the camera flash on. So stylish. Baby T is all gone. Drop down, yeah. Looking like an icon. Work angles, yeah. Some sort of girl boss. She's photo worthy. Let's see. Song continues. Yeah, 360. When you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror, you're just looking at me. So a reference to the fact that if you like how you look, in reality, you just like how Charles looks because you are Charles and we are Charles.
Or possibly, given that she is some sort of spy, she's basically like she's just fitting in with everybody. She's a Tim, if you will.
Oh,
a blank.
A blank. Yeah, just choose your own adventure. Who do you need to be to fit in and be not noticed? I gotta say, Tim, you've really ruined this episode for me when you called her Charles Xavier. This whole time, I just have Patrick Stewart. I'm living a Brat Summer.
I mean, should
Oh
we
my.
try and shoehorn an X-Men subplot into this?
I'd like to. I'd like to find a path to Charles Xavier if we can. If we can get Patrick Stewart. Oh my. Yes,
Yeah,
I
maybe
love cocaine.
Ian McKellen is just shouting that he's a brat at him, and he's just like, I know, I know.
I invented it, baby. Oh, Charles.
I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia. When you're in the party, bumping that beat. 666 with a princess streak. I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia. Yeah.
I'm so Julia.
I'm so Julia.
I hate it. I really don't. I don't care for it.
Yeah. The city sewer slut's the vibe. I didn't look that up because I know it's a reference to something, but I want it to have been her that came up with the term city sewer slut.
Yeah. I think she uses it to travel unrecognized internationally so that she can do her whatever she's doing. It's setting trends, murdering state leaders. We don't know.
Why can't it be both?
Oh my God. You know what I love? Levi's jeans. You know what I hate? Autocrats. Brat Summer. Charli XCX here. I'm taking over Hong Kong. Wait, what?
I set the tone, it's my design, and it's stuck in your mind. Legacy is undebated. You gon' jump if AG made it. If you love it, if you hate it, I don't fucking care what you think.
Yeah, she's just here to brainwash the masses into buying whatever the fuck it is she's peddling.
Yes.
God, what if she's just openly mocking her listeners for being like, I've cracked the code. Like, I know who to work with. I know what it needs to sound like. I don't believe in any of this shit. And I'm just making you buy garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's... I don't know if she's intentionally doing that, but I feel like at least a producer has that in mind.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, we gotta be clear, like this, I think it's fair to say, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think it's fair to say this is like her big break.
I think this is probably her biggest album, but she was quite famous before this.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Man, anyway, I'd never heard of her.
No, we don't live in Britain.
There is that. Track number 2, Club Classics.
AG. I wanna dance with George. I wanna dance with Sophie. I wanna dance to Hub Mo. Play the track for us.
I want to hear those club classics, club classics, club classics. I want to go to the club.
Yeah, and this is a fascinating look into the mind of a narcissist, right? Because she's singing about how she wants to hear and presumably dance to a bunch of people, not really a bunch of people, to herself and her music.
Yeah, and this is definitely a lot more housey. Like, we got to mention this one opens with like right now, right now, right now, right now, and we're into it. I'm dancing, moving my body.
Well,
it's
you're
not
not,
bad.
but I am. Yeah,
Sure.
I want to dance to me. I want to dance to AG. I want to dance with Georgie. I want to dance with Sophie. I want to dance to Hudmo. Play the track fast, not slow. Pull it back twice. Let's go. Sweat marks on all my clothes. Tight like Mike kind of flow. Yeah, I want to be blinded by the lights, lights, lights. And it's important to note that all the people she lists are in fact like collaborators with her. So really she's just saying, I want to dance to music that was made by and also for me.
Not there to meet guys. Not there to listen to some lame ass other artist. I brought my own flash drive.
Yeah, and
just play me.
So is she going to a club with her friends asking a DJ to play her songs, like maybe in an attempt to get recognized?
No, I think she just only likes her own music. Yeah. Imagine saying that. Hey, what have you been listening to? I'm super into me right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? And that actually is an interesting question. So like music, I've never really thought about this. Maybe this might be a stupid question, but in the process of making an album, you pour over and over and over and over it, get it to the point where you're ready to release it, edit it, tighten it up, produce it, engineer it, done. Do you ever listen to that album? No, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, some people do, definitely.
Charli XCX exclusively does.
Yeah.
I just particularly enjoy the sound of my own voice. Yes. Get out of here, Xavier.
And, I mean, it seems very foreign to me, right? Like, why would you want to listen to your own voice? That's the worst. I, of course, though, personally, I love the club and I love to dance. I do not have the self-confidence to request a song from a DJ. They are notably mean. So I wanted to know the etiquette for this. I went to Reddit's r/DJs to find out the etiquette. And here's some responses, Garrett. Don't. At the club, it's a hard no. Don't walk into a nightclub and start pestering someone that's at work that isn't working for you. Just leave the DJ booth alone. It isn't your venue, and the DJ isn't your employee, and the night isn't only yours to enjoy. If you don't like what's being played, then go somewhere else. Here's
That
another
seems
one.
reasonable.
It's a club, not a bar with a jukebox. Money talks. Drop $10K on bottle service and ask the server to put in a request of a song with another $500 for the DJ. Don't hold your breath though. Just dance and leave. Just dance or leave and go to a bar.
Or just give the DJ $50 and they'll play whatever you want. Because
Yeah.
they're DJs
Yeah.
and they need to eat.
Right. Yeah, again, so my instincts were right both about not requesting songs and about DJs being humorless cunts that are unworthy of love. See our now classic Olivia Rodrigo episode for more on that.
Yeah.
But you're
I
playing
worry
music. You're not an artist.
I worry anytime you get on that DJ Reddit. I've heard a lot of really scary stories about people getting sucked into that community. And next thing I know, you're going to have a fucking turntable. I can't even imagine having to deal with that.
I know, after I got sucked into the alt-right, like, that might be worse. DJs might be worse than the alt-right.
It 100% is. Your accessories with the alt-right were just a button-down shirt and some ugly hats. DJs have so much equipment. Also, like, how do you even practice?
Oh, you just put on music. I mean, technically, every time I put on a record, I am DJing the house.
That's true. That's true. I appreciate you not record scratching my very expensive records.
I do that when you're not here. That's why they're all
I'll
broken.
kill you.
Track number 3. Sympathy is a knife.
Wanna buy a gun? Why? I wanna shoot myself.
Oh boy, this is where it all comes out, Tim.
Right. This is where it becomes obvious that she is embroiled in some international intrigue.
I was going to say anxiety and low self-esteem.
Oh, there's that. Maybe this isn't the one. Maybe that's later. I don't know.
I don't want to share the space. I don't want to force a smile. This one girl taps my insecurities. Don't know if she's real or if I'm spiraling. One voice tells me that they laugh. George says I'm just paranoid. Says he just don't see it. He's so naive. I'm embarrassed to have it, but need the sympathy. Who is this mystery girl? Gotta be T Swift.
One would think it was Tay-Tay. And here's the thing. So the lyrics, they're about how she's incredibly insecure. She's moments away from violence, even from the most basic interactions, right? She does not know how to interact with people. She needs constant reassurance. And I mean, it's a weird thing to write about because clearly the people buying your music like you, right? They want to hear from you. They're
Presumably.
also probably Tay-Tay fans, but they clearly like her as well, which makes me think maybe Tay-Tay is intentionally making her feel this way. Maybe it's all a game to Miss Swift to see if she can ruin a Charli or an Olivia's life.
And do you think the gambit is, let me see if I can play just enough mind games with Charles, such that she ruins her own career by driving herself insane?
Yeah, I mean, you want to do it very subtly, right? You want to, the touch, I mean, you know this with your thing. If everything
Well,
goes
okay.
right, they don't even know you were ever there.
That is accurate, but please don't say my thing. It makes it sound like I'm employed government. I've said too much.
Right, against our nation's enemies and also allies. I got it.
I work in our interest, Tim.
Well, I mean, you work in the best interest of...
You've said too much.
Okay.
Because I couldn't even be her if I tried. I'm opposite. I'm on the other side. I feel all these things I can't control. Oh no. Don't know why. All this sympathy is just a knife.
All this sympathy is just a knife. All this sympathy is just a... Sorry.
I don't think that's how the song
No,
goes.
it's not at all. That's how it goes in my head.
Now, Tim, is it a knife because she knows that people are just being nice to her and trying to make her feel better? Or is it just because it's a reminder of how inferior she truly is?
It's probably a little bit of both. Now, I think I was doing a little bit sort of a Repo the Genetic Opera twist on it right there.
Please don't bring that up. Let Paul Sorvino rest in peace.
Garrett, it escalates really quickly. Why I want to buy a gun, why I want to shoot myself. Volatile at war with my dialogue. I'd say there was a god if they could stop this with voice tearing me apart. I'm so apprehensive now. Don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show. Fingers crossed behind my back. I hope they break up quick. So this goes from maybe I'll kill myself to like, I wish your relationship ill. That's okay.
It also really narrows it down to probably Taylor Swift.
Right, of course. Dating somebody from the 1975. Yeah.
Also, it does perhaps sound like it could be a cover for a planned murder.
Yes.
I was buying that gun to kill myself, officer.
In conversation.
What, how can you prove that, madam? As a matter of fact, I can. I put it in a song. Bulletproof. Outro is more complaining about people being kind to her. She just says, oh, this sympathy is just a knife.
All
over
this
and over
sympathy
again.
is just a knife. All this sympathy is just a knife.
Interesting. Track number 4, I might say something stupid.
I look perfect.
one slows down. It's sort of a piano ballad, kind of, which is nice, but that makes the auto-tune all the more grating.
Yeah, and I gotta be... Let's start with this. Before we get into any of the song specifics, many of these songs fall under the category I'm about to describe, but this was the first one I noted it on, and I'm curious if you can help me understand this sentence. On April 2nd, 2024, Charli announced this song and confirmed that it would appear on Brat via a voice memo sent to a small number of fans.
Yeah, I got that too. Like half these songs were announced in that way. I don't know what that means.
A voice memo. This is Homer Simpson. Like, what? Okay. Okay. All right. So, as Tim mentioned, we slow things down. It's auto-tuned to holy hell. And she says, I might say something stupid. Talk to myself in the mirror. Wear these clothes as disguise just to re-enter the party. First of all, I have never in my entire life, this is something you see a lot in movies, where people like talk to themselves in the mirror, hype themselves up in the mirror. Is this a thing you've done? Have you even like rehearsed a speech in a mirror?
Well, Garrett, you have to understand that there is a specific reason she's doing this, right? She is playing a character. She is somewhere she's not supposed to be. She's pretending to be someone else. She is wearing different clothes as a disguise. She's sneaking back in and out. She is worried that she is going to blow her cover. She is talking to herself in the mirror, both to hype her up so she has the confidence to go talk to that, I don't know.
Foreign dignitary?
Yeah, to go talk to that prince or whatever.
Secretary of State of Dubai.
That's
whatever
not a
that
thing.
is.
That can't possibly be a thing. But yeah, so she, and also she's talking to herself. She has to get her story straight, right? And she's nervous. She's sipping some wine. And here's the thing. She looks it repeatedly through this. I look perfect for the background. She's timid, right? She knows that the best way, the only way to get out of this thing alive is for no one to really remember that you were there in the first place.
Yeah, you don't want to be breathtaking. You don't want to be walking around like some sort of Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible movies, capturing everybody's attention.
No,
you want to look like an average Joe Schmo.
Right, even a Garrett Harvey, for example. You can't go around looking like a Garrett Harvey. That's memorable. That's why somebody like a Garrett Harvey doesn't really do the subtleties, right? He does more, I mean, I don't know if we should say, but we shouldn't. The finale. Whereas somebody's got to go in there and make sure that all those people are in that room.
Tim, to put it simply, I work in absolutes.
Yes, you do. I don't think we need to say any more than that. I'm uncomfortable now. I got so cold because I don't know if I belong here anymore. I don't feel like nothing special. I snag my tights out on the lawn chair. Guess I'm a mess and play the role. Used to live just for the party. Door is open. I'm famous but not quite. But I'm perfect for the background. 1 foot in a normal life. And this is where I think, right? She's famous but she's not quite. She's perfect for the background, right? People don't recognize that she's even there half the time. So maybe she was approached to be a spy and kind of got offended because this whole song is sung with kind of like a little, I can't believe this is my life. This is how it's, going, right? So maybe she was approached to be a spy, right? Somebody came and listen, Charli, you're on tour with Taylor Swift. You get to go all over the world. It's completely explained.
Access.
Yes, you've got access to anything you want because you are there with Taylor Swift. Oligarchs, statesmen, they all get drunk around you. And the best part is no one will ever fucking remember you were there. You may as well be a ghost. You can infiltrate and sabotage and murder and no one will even look in your direction because they're all going to be so busy with the actual star, Tay-Tay. And she's like, hey,
I love this.
Dude, that is so mean. And he's, no. It's positive. You'll be history's greatest spy because you may as well have no face. Just seriously, fuck you, buddy. And
it's not getting better.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they're going to let you into these parties. You're with Taylor Swift. But then all of the attention's just going to be sucked right up from her.
Right.
That you can just wade in the shallow waters of anonymity.
Right. And that's when you slip it in right in between those 8th and 9th ribs and just,
walk away.
That's right. Because otherwise she's just complaining about having the thing every other famous person complains about not having, which is the possibility of anonymity, if even for a moment.
Yeah. I took it a slightly different direction, not to re-legislate the entire thing, because let me be honest, Tim, you nailed it. But I thought that she might be between the two worlds of fame and being with her normies. So like the normies are like, oh, look who it is. It's Taylor Swift's BFF. And she's like, I fucking hate that bitch. And they're like, yeah, whatever. You don't need to suck up to us. And then she goes to try to hang out with T Swift and she's just like, oh, that's cute. Sorry. No room on the bus. Can't sit here.
What was that accent, Garrett? Why was that child from Brooklyn?
I've lived here too long. I don't know how to do anything anymore. Track number 5, Talk Talk.
We should talk, we should talk, we should just talk to me.
This is probably about dating that guy from the 1975, but I like to think that it is either about one of two things. One,
Okay.
and we'll get into this maybe later, the spy thing. The other is that she's on the road and maybe she met somebody online and she's been secretly sexting them and finally seeing that person IRL in the club and being like, should I go talk to him? I mean, I've already seen his butthole. As one does. I don't know. I don't sex
Let
people.
me take that idea and juice it up ever so slightly, because you and I are almost touching tips here. So same idea. She's been chatting online with this mystery person, but Tim, plot twist. She thinks it's another celebrity, but the person catfishing her doesn't realize it's actually Charli XCX, and that she's famous enough that she might actually meet the person that this person's impersonating.
Ooh.
And so she's at like the Grammys, right? And she's like, oh my God, there he is. This is it. And he has no idea why she's acting this way, because he has not been texting her. It's been some fucking kid in Idaho.
I love that. I really like that. And so, yeah, so she's just kind of like there smiling and be like, hey. And it's like, what's happening over there?
Hey,
you're not Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And Beck's just like,
No,
hi.
man. What if it's somebody is pretending to be Taylor Swift's boyfriend, that football fella or this 1975 singer? And so she is like, she's like, oh, I don't know if Tay-Tay knows about us. And he's like, I don't think she does because I don't know about us. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, Travis Kelce. Hey, Charlie. That's the weirdest thing tonight, Taylor. Like, you said Charlie was always like really weird around you, kind of cold, seemed like she didn't like you. Yeah? I think she really likes me. Interesting. Minions, attack. I assume she has a robot army.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
Anyway.
does these days.
So the lyrics are that support all of this nonsense. I've been looking at you, putting holes in your head. We've been talking for months, but never in the same room. And now I want to approach you, but we've been keeping this a secret. And you're surrounded by friends, and I'm just wondering what they know. So she's like, has everyone seen those nudes I sent you?
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, don't.
Well, she's confused because not only is this person, and I really feel like we got to assign a person here. Like, I picked maybe like Beck or Fred Durst, Chris Kattan. Who are the kids into?
I don't think it's any of those people. I think we'll go with Travis Kelce, or possibly his brother, the other Kelce.
Which one's dating? It doesn't matter. We'll say Travis Kelce. So they're at some sort of like the ESPYs or some bullshit. I don't know how they'd all be there, but whatever. Grammys is fine. And so she's wondering, has he told anybody that he is cheating on Taylor with me?
Right.
Like at first she's like, oh my God, I'm finally going to see him in person. This is it. This is it. And then she has the realization that like, oh my God, how many of these people know? Taylor clearly doesn't know because of course it's not real.
Yeah. Maybe it's another guy on the football team who's just borrowing the phone while Trav is out at practice and just sending pictures of, his knees and stuff.
Knees.
At first, you want to listen.
Sex people. You've got to have somewhere to go.
Right.
Check out this elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd wish you'd talk. Wish you'd talk. Wish you'd talk. Wish you'd talk to me. I think you're getting closer because I've been getting nervous. I'd wish you'd talk to me.
All of that times 3, by the way.
Right. Are you thinking about me? I'm kind of thinking you are. I followed you to the bathroom, but then I felt crazy. I'm feeling like I'm on fire because we've been keeping this a secret and all your friends are still there and I'm wondering what they know.
Now I'm picturing that it's Nick Offerman.
Yes.
Hello. So I can't believe this is really happening. I can't either. Excuse me. What's happening? You know, Mr. Broomstick. I truly do not.
She's going to stab him in the liver in that men's room. Gender aside, do not follow people to the bathroom.
That's true.
Yeah. Talk to me in French, talk to me in Spanish, talk to me in your own made-up language. Doesn't matter if I understand it, talk right in my ear. So to me, that makes it sound like in your own language. It can be denials. I'll know what you mean.
We've never spoken before at all.
Wait.
I know what you mean. I really don't think you do.
Megan Mullally is not going to enjoy this.
She will fuck you up.
Yeah.
I want to point something out that's really important because we have some listeners in their 20s, early 30s. They're trying to get out there, find true love. If you meet somebody who claims to have made up their own language, run far, far away.
Yes.
Everything else you're about to learn is worse.
Little caveat to that. If they say that they read it from a hat, get in on that ground floor because that guy's going places.
He's a dreamer.
Yes. Talk right in my ear. Tell me your secrets and fears. Once you talk to me, I'll talk to you and say, hey, let us get out of here. Shall we go back to my place?
I don't think we should do that.
So my other thought though was maybe it's about seeing someone in a club that she has been committing treason with or, otherwise engaged in some sort of spycraft. And she just wants to talk to this guy.
Or Tim, she's waiting for the connect. That's her handler. And so she's just like, the sparrow's wings sure are fragile.
Right. Yeah. It
doesn't
listen.
Is the bathroom over here?
Yeah, exactly. Your own made up language. It doesn't matter if I don't understand it,
Right. So she's been saying the code word to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. He was like, meet me at the club in Zurich. I will be wearing a black shirt with black pants and black shoes.
Oh, I've got some bad news for you about Zurich.
I will be the one on the dance floor with the killer moves. Shit.
I will be the pervert. Okay. That's also not helpful, sir.
I'll be the one with busy hands. She's just been staring at all these dudes and she just walks up to him and it's just like, do you find the weather in Brussels to be robust? Yeah, you want to get out of here? No. God damn it.
Track number 6, Von Dutch.
For $1 million. I thought this brand was DEA dead.
Yeah, it's been making a comeback partially because of this song. This song does appear on the Von Dutch Wikipedia page, which I spent way too much time on. Would you like to do some Von Dutch facts, Garrett?
I would love to hear some Von Dutch facts, because what little I know is interesting as shit.
The company Von Dutch was named after Kenny Howard, aka Von Dutch. Now, Kenny was a motorcycle mechanic, amongst other things, such as a blacksmith and gunsmith, etc. He was stubborn as a Dutchman, where that name comes from. Kenny was also a virulent racist and admirer of Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich. Now, I don't want to quote him out of context, but in relation to refusing medical care near the end of his life, he said, "I'm not willing to go through it anymore, only to emerge in a place full of Africans, Mexicans, and Jews. I've always been a Nazi, and I still believe it. I still believe it was the last time the world had a chance of being operated with logic. What a shame so many Americans died and suffered to make the rich richer and save England and France again. Or was that still? I hope you lying wimps get swallowed up with your stupidity." And then he immediately died of liver failure from alcoholism.
Put his name on a hat!
One of the owners hired Pablo Escobar's grandson to intimidate another one of the owners, and then a third owner was arrested but then acquitted of first-degree murder after his friend allegedly attacked him with a broken bottle that true looked like it was placed there afterward. Ed Hardy, on the other hand, Alzheimer's disease aside, is by all accounts a great guy.
Yeah.
Not this Von Dutch fella, though. That guy sucks.
No. Who knew the merchandise was the best part of that?
Yeah. You look and you see Kylie Jenner wearing a Von Dutch hat and you think, that looks dumb. No, it doesn't. It looks fine. Don't look into it further.
Who is less informed? The Che Guevara guys or the Von Dutch people?
Definitely the Von Dutch people, because at least the Che Guevara guys knew that he got up to something in Central America. The Von Dutch people,
think that he's just a stubborn old car restorer.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Von Dutch logo looks like it would be on a can of motor oil.
Yeah, or, Zyklon B.
Yes.
Either one of those cans.
Yes. I guess, is the song about how she is as cool and then immediately not cool as Von Dutch became?
I didn't get the part where she got less cool.
Oh, okay.
I think she's taunting possibly FKA Twigs or her fans or and you love to say this, the haters.
I do love to say that. What I don't love to say is FKA Twigs, because what the fuck is that? Don't answer that question.
It's okay to just admit you're jealous of me. Yeah, I heard you talk about me. That's the word on the street. You're obsessing. Just confess it. Put your hands up. It's obvious I'm your number one.
Okay, here's the scene. She's in an evening gown. Her Her high heels are in her hand. She's in mud up to her ankles as she's trying to get into some sort of grating around back. And a security guard is shining a flashlight in her eyes. And the best she can do is just like, listen, I know you're jealous of me. It's obvious that you're a huge fan. And you're obsessing. And he's saying, confess and put your hands up, you fucking lunatic. I don't know who you are, but you're not leaving. You're not getting away with it.
Swiften?
Yeah.
Das ist der Taylor Swiften?
Yeah. She got caught breaking into a secure facility somewhere in Eastern Europe on tour with Tay-Tay. And she's like, it's embarrassing how obsessed with me you are.
Quit hounding me, Jesus Christ. Oh, you are not der Taylor Swiften. Das ist der Charli Xavier. That's the last word you're ever going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles. Magneto's just always with her now. It's Charli XCX with Magneto, because I just want to get McKellen in there, and I just love saying, oh, Charles.
Maybe it's a second character who just happens to be named Magnus and has the same voice, and it's never explained why.
Works for me. It's all right to just admit that I'm the fantasy. You're obsessing. Just confess it, because it's obvious. I'm your number one. I'm your number one. I'm your number one, yeah.
Listen, I know you're super obsessed with me. You got the hots for me. You're staring at me. Listen, just fucking look. You don't have to always be staring at you. Just be like, I'm pretty sure you're using that coin to unscrew the vent.
The screws on that grate.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I think I'm going to continue to look in your general direction at the very least.
Well, failing to play the celebrity card, then she instantly switches to the seduction, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe she gives a little flash of the beeve, and while he's hypnotized, Tim, drastic measures. This guy's got a fucking AK-47 pointed at your chest. You're going to flash a little beeve if we can distract him long enough to stab him in the throat with one of those high heels.
Yeah, right.
Which I assume is some sort of knife.
Or has a poison dart or something, yes.
Ooh, I like that. But she's got to blow on the heel of it. It's disgusting. I've really got to talk to Q about this. You're going to put your face inside the pump. Oh, Q, I thought we'd been through this. Enough with the feet stuff, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Song continues. I'm just living that life. Von Dutch, cult classic. But I still pop. I get money. You get mad because the bank's shut. Yeah, I know your little secret. Put your hands up. It's so obvious I'm your number one. Life. She either has dirt on this person and is blackmailing them to keep their mouth shut, or I don't know.
I mean, maybe it could be that. It could also just be that this guy shines a flashlight into her face and she just says, "You think you've got me? Well, I don't know how Sarah at 182 North South Street feels about that." And he's like, "Oh my God.
How'd you know I lived at North South Street? It couldn't have been a lucky guess. That's an absurd name for a road." Stupid. Von Dutch, coat classic in your eardrums. Why you lying? You won't fuck unless he's famous. Do that little dance. Without it, you'd be nameless. It's so obvious I'm your number one. This is what makes me think it's FKA Twigs, but what if she's got some long-standing feud with the Macarena people? I was trying to think, like, who has their own dance? There's MC Hammer. He's got the Hammer dance, the Macarena folks, Electric Slide. And then there was, I don't think we've done this song, but we will someday. Do you remember that song 1-2 Step?
No.
Let me see you 1-2 step. I like it when we 1-2 step. Don't worry, you'll learn it. Chorus 4 more times in a row, and that brings us to track number 7. Everything is romantic.
Tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign, all in love again and again, winding roads through manual.
This thing gives me a headache. It's a bit of a fever dream musically and lyrically. It's silly and weird, a lot of time changes and style changes.
I think fever dream is right because it feels like very stream of consciousness, like dreamlike. And, it might be her detailing all the dipshit she's had to seduce in her life as a spy with all the bad tattoos and etc.
Dude, when it opened, the first time I heard it, I legitimately was laughing because it's super sparse and it sounds insane. It opens with bad tattoos on leather tan skin, Jesus Christ on a plastic sign, fall in love again and again, winding roads doing manual drive.
Right. And I mean, to me, right.
What?
Yeah. I mean, this makes complete sense, right? She's remembering the bad tattoos, that super tan guy that she, he ended up at the bottom of that hill on those rocks.
Sure.
The, Jesus Christ song, so she's, obviously she's infiltrating a little bit of America, right? And there's this constantly everywhere. Falling in love, pretending to fall in love again and again, escaping in your manual and along these winding Italian roads. It's,
yeah, it adds up. It is the life of a super spy.
Right. Early nights in white sheets with lace curtains, Capri in the distance, in a place that can make you change, fall in love again and again. And it just keeps repeating over and over again.
Now, there's a chance, Tim, that this is not about her super spy secret life, and it's just about a trip with her family to Italy.
Well, that could be. That could be.
But I prefer our interpretation, or what I like to call the accurate one.
Right. Well, I mean, even at this point, if she's going to Italy with her family, like she's getting that manila envelope and, she's going to have to do a little side mission. That's how the trip gets paid for.
Hello, Charles. God damn it, Magnus. I know I said I'd let you rest, but I can't. America can't.
I like it that Magneto is now Charles Xavier's voice.
Yeah, it's both. I'm just going back and forth. I apologize to everyone. Hello, Charles. It's subtle, to be fair. They're very similar. Anyway, song continues. The first verse repeats that we just heard, but that calm music, that's gone. It is replaced with heavy bass and sampled shouting. And we hear laser noises and everything is romantic. 4 times in a row. And the song continues. Lemons on the tree and on the ground. Sandals on the stirrups of the scooters. Neon orange drinks on the beach. 4 generations make up a family.
Right.
She's clearly murdering an entire organized crime family while on vacation with her family.
Yes.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Early nights in white sheets with lace curtains, Pompeii in the distance, in a place that can make you change, fall in love again and again. Now, Tim, this is an interesting verse in that we've had a mention of Capri and now a mention of Pompeii. Capri, lovely, aspirational, romantic. Pompeii, destruction, murder, death.
Right.
Murder, death, kill.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this whole thing is a metaphor for moving from the dark times where she had to murder that entire family for the good of her country and make her way to Capri where she could, I don't know, go window shopping with her Nana.
Right. Or the opposite. The dark times when she had to go window shopping with the Nana, moving to the bright times when she got to kill that family in Pompeii.
It's the only time I feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the outro, which is, and this is not a joke, fall in love again and again, by my count, 37 times.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
And that's not the worst offender on this album.
Track number 8. Rewind.
This is a song about how she's insecure, self-obsessed, and constantly thinking about the sales numbers of her music like some sort of Troy Brooks, and wishes she didn't do any of those things, which is cool.
Now, I'm going to defend Miss Xavier a little bit. First of all, very straightforward pop song, super catchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely belongs in the montage of 2 friends looking at photos after they fought with one another and regretting what they said.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to rewind the tape, Tim, get back to those good times. I think that's probably the end of the nice stuff. It is catchy as shit. And I can even relate to, she wants to get back to that ignorance of youth. And you and I have talked about this. There are moments in our lives where we have done things that had we known the magnitude or risk, we probably would have scared ourselves into not doing them.
Yeah, or
doing them
outcome.
worse.
Yeah, exactly. Had you known what life would be like, you're not starting a podcast or saying yes to that man with that manila envelope.
Yeah, we all made some mistakes. So she says, sometimes I just want to rewind. Sometimes I just want to rewind. Now, folks, these are fine lyrics, except every time the word rewind is said, we hear a tape rewinding, and that gets irritating quickly.
Yep.
But that's okay. It's a very dancey song. It almost feels like some early 90s dance and house stuff, and I'm into it. I gotta be honest, Tim, like this, I went into my private space where even you can't get in, and I gave it a good dance.
I know why you dance in secret, Garrett. I've seen you dance in public.
Do not besmirch my dancing.
Garrett, do you think your dancing is good?
It's not what I said.
You'd like to go back to a time when you weren't insecure, where you didn't overanalyze your dance moves, right? Is that?
Yes,
Okay.
that actually is accurate.
I'd go back in time to when I wasn't insecure, to when I didn't overanalyze my face shape. Nowadays, I only eat at the good restaurants. But honestly, I'm always thinking about my weight. I used to never feel embarrassed when I call up the paparazzi. Everyone does it constantly. I hate these doubts that keep running through my mind. Sometimes I think it would be cool to rewind.
So, you've said a lot. Let's get into it. She's insecure. She overanalyzes her face shape. Tim, is this something we need to be thinking about? I want to make sure that my body stays fit, trim, and attractive, but I have never once even considered face shape. Is this something I can work on?
It is not something you need to work on, but there's a lot of us that do, in fact. We have problems with our face shape. It's fuzzy, it's blurry.
Oh, wait, no, you're just out of focus. You need focus. Your life lacks focus, and therefore you are unfocused. No one will remember you. Okay. Song.
That's so mean. Jesus Christ, Garrett.
I used to never feel embarrassed. She does confirm that she is calling up the paparazzi so that everyone will see her. Why would anyone do that?
To establish an alibi.
Oh my God. Asked and answered. Wow.
I mean, it really does all add up, right?
It's starting to. Used to burn CDs full of songs I didn't know. Used to sit in my bedroom putting polish on my toes. Recently, I've been thinking about a way simpler time. Sometimes I really think it would be cool to rewind. She seems to be complaining mostly about just being an adult. Yeah, we would all love to sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Only Tim gets to do that.
That's right.
In fact, I wish you would do less.
I do pretty little.
Yeah, but what you do is not productive.
It is destructive. I used to think about Billboard, but now I've started thinking again, wondering about whether I deserve commercial success. Very awkwardly phrased. It's running through my mind. Sometimes I think it would be cool to rewind. I mean, it seems very upfront, but again, intrigue.
Maybe she's starting to slip, Tim. She's been at it now a good 13, 14 years. You go through enough traumas and you get a little bit older, you start to soften up a little bit. Maybe those explosions cause you to wince a little harder and you start to see the faces of the many, many lives you've impacted over the years as you try to fall asleep every night. The very idea of watching a action movie makes you burst out into tears uncontrollably. You can't eat fried chicken because it reminds you of an incident in Beirut with your friend's face. That kind of stuff, for instance.
Right, but this isn't you, of course, because you aren't bothered by anything of this.
Right, also we have very different jobs, obviously. She's some sort of super secret spy.
Chasing you.
And I'm some sort of jackal. Great.
You are a jackal. Jesus Christ, I've never seen it until now. One way or another, you are a jackal.
Track number 9. Boy, we're going to have to really walk a fine line here, Tim. Track number 9. So I.
Always on my mind. Every day, every night. You're stubborn.
Okay. I want to be really clear. This song does not fit into the theme of the rest of the album. It does not.
Correct.
This is a song about someone named Sophie Zian, who made dance music and hyperpop and such, and was a longtime collabo-er with Charli on some of her early releases, but then died in 2021 after falling off a rooftop in Athens, trying to take a picture of the moon at 4 a.m. at the age of 34.
Okay, what?
At
the age of 34, Sophie fell 3 floors from the rooftop of a building in Athens, Greece, while attempting to take a picture of the full moon. That's a bad alibi. That's
unrelated to the theme of this album.
I'm just saying, Tim.
It is sus. It does sound very, very sus. I'm trying to put it in the words of this album, Garrett. They say sus. That's what the kids are saying.
No, you nailed it. Good job. I wish you hadn't explained it. So yeah, this song is about how much she misses Sophie. And listen, we are not here to belittle anybody's grief. That's a shared human emotion we all have and wouldn't make fun of on this show. Even before I was certain that she was a super spy, I just don't understand that description of what happened.
Yeah, because how would you know that's what she was doing?
All of it makes no sense.
But okay.
We're describing a Looney Tunes sketch. Little further, just a half. Whoop.
how did they know that she was... Okay, I guess maybe the last photo on her phone was of the moon. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's just above the moon.
It was a blurry picture of the moon. Jesus Christ.
What do you think she was trying to take a photo of?
Anyway, Garrett, this song, I think in part, it seems to be about how much it sucks to play songs that were made in collabo with Sophie. And
yeah,
I mean, I kind of get that because, I mean, you're not long for this world. We both know that.
What?
And
we do?
When I make episodes of this show after you die, now obviously no one's going to hear them because I don't know how to upload them, but it's still going to be really sad for me when I sit here with like Gino or, I mean, I don't know what Tom B. Rady is going to be doing when you die. I honestly are worried for my safety.
God, it's going to be like the Notebooks in 7. They're just going to find tapes upon tapes of you talking about albums to nobody, referencing Gino and Tom P. Rady and the interns. It's going to be fascinating. I wish I was going to be alive to see it.
Yes, but as we've decided, you will not be.
Wait, we didn't decide it. You said I had, we're going to take this off mics. I don't want to die.
Always on my mind, your star burned so bright. I was scared sometimes. You had the power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie, say that I like singing these songs you left behind. And I know you always said it's okay to cry, so I can cry, so I cry. Yeah, this is going to be what it's like after you're gone.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll be
I'd
very
prefer
sad.
you died first.
We all would, Garrett. We'll
see what we can
would.
do about that.
I mean, let's not do what you normally do about that, because it seems like it could be a whole lot less unpleasant than you make it.
Listen, I don't know what you're implying. I have a very normal job helping people solve problems. Song continues. Track was done. I'd make excuses. You'd say, come on, stay for dinner. I'd say, no, I'm fine. Now I really wish I'd stayed. Yeah, that's fair. It is an axiom of reality that people around you will die suddenly and you will be filled with a haunting regret you will never be able to satiate.
Yes.
It's just a fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner everybody reconciles with that, the better.
Especially the people that have scheduled business meetings with you.
That's ridiculous, Tim. I'm a normal businessman.
Mm-hmm. You conduct normal business.
That's right. Anyway, song wraps up with guilty feelings keep me fractured. Got a phone call after Christmas. Didn't know how I should act. I watched you dance online. Your sounds, your words live on. Endless. And I don't really care about those lyrics in particular, but it did leave me with a sort of interesting question. I've been very fortunate. I haven't lost anybody in the last, let's say, 10 years that was too close to me. The pervasive media of our day-to-day lives, the camera phones, basically. Does that make someone's passing easier or harder?
Yeah, it's weird to constantly always be carrying around like all your photos of a person. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that is like comforting. You can look at them when you miss them, or if it's just like, God damn it. Like, especially with a modern phone, most of them are like memories on this day 7 years ago. And you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Why would you remind me of that?
It's interesting though, like some companies, I will get occasional emails for this where it's just like, Mother's Day is coming up. If you'd like to be unsubscribed because this is very unpleasant, click here. It's like, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I don't know. I assume it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, like if your mom died and you're very sad around this time of year and don't constantly want to be reminded, but I also kind of like the idea that it's just like, Mother's Day is here. Is she a bitch and you don't want to hear this? Click here. Yeah. Track number 10. Girl, so confused. Girl, you know it's true. Girl, so confusing.
I don't know if you like me. Sometimes I think you might hate me. Sometimes I think I might hate you.
Tim, I couldn't agree more with this song. Listen, if you were to ask me who are the meanest people I've ever seen, like truly, it is not big tough guys. It is not men physically bullying other men. It is teenage girls.
Yeah, it's the two girls that are sitting at the pool in the first season of White Lotus. I am terrified of them.
They're so mean.
And they're so insightful. For people that ostensibly are idiots, so insightful. They know
exactly what your insecurities are. Yeah.
It's almost like somebody that I was on vacation with went to the pool earlier and told them what my insecurities are.
You're going to want to talk about his face and hair. And I don't know, like if you guys want to just like throw something random in to fuck with him, I don't know, like just focus on like the abdomen or like tell him he's got a weird thorax. Let's just see how he responds.
You find me crying. Garrett, look at my thorax.
The girls at the pool told me my clavicle wasn't symmetrical. Boy, that is a good one.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so speaking of that, I had a really hard time pinning down the specific age that the protagonist of this is supposed to be.
13.
Yeah, it's gotta be. But apparently it's about her super weird relationship with Lord, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, and so much this auto-tuning on this song drove me crazy.
It's a crazy vocal effect. I love it. Girl, it's so confusing sometimes to be a girl.
You know
Girl,
it's true.
girl.
Yeah. And it was to the point, like, the way, the cadence of this, the repetition, is this Morse code? Did you try to find anything in Morse code?
Parse out some sort of message? Jewels acquired. Stop. Send fast boat. Stop. Russian president knows who I am. Stop.
Yes, president.
I don't know if you like me. Sometimes I think you might hate me. Sometimes I think I might hate you. Maybe you just want to be me. You always say let's go out so we can go eat at a restaurant. Clunky. Sometimes it feels a bit awkward because we don't have much in common.
I mean,
lots
again,
in here.
If this is your relationship with Lord, I totally get it. But to our younger listeners, nobody's thinking about you this much. Like, she is the only one that is thinking about her friends to this degree. Like, if you're like, oh, I wonder if, especially if you're a guy, if you're a middle school girl, I have no idea what these people are up to. But like, if you're a guy and you're like, I wonder if my friend's mad at you, he doesn't fucking remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not. Trust me. And if he is, don't be friends with him.
Yeah.
That guy's weird. But there's a lot in here. So one thing that I pulled out is, first of all, they don't sound to be friends at all. Two, just about every person I have ever been told, oh, you guys should meet. You'd really get along. Almost every one of those has ended with me despising that person.
With one notable exception?
Yes. That one time I met Morrissey, it was actually not that bad.
Damn it. Worse than Morrissey is how he said, Gino. God.
Yeah, that is a reassessing moment, isn't it?
People say we're alike, that we've got the same hair. We talk about making music, but I don't know if it's honest. I can't. Fuck you. I can't tell if you want to see me falling over and failing, and you can't tell what you're feeling. I think I know how you feel.
Yeah, they're not friends.
Yeah, and I'm kind of getting that.
Goof, have you ever had to go to lunch with somebody? It's usually a work situation where like you're just colleagues and you couldn't have less in common, and you're like, this is going to be a really long 45 minutes.
And then sometimes it's not.
Yeah, but mostly it is.
Oh yeah.
God, I can't tell you how many fucking inane conversations I have had to have over like Applebee's because I'm in God knows where.
Yeah, and if you work with Garrett and you're listening right now, he's talking about you. You remember that time at Applebee's? No. You remember that time at Applebee's when it was a little awkward? Yeah, he remembers.
Oh, okay, yes. If you went to lunch with me at an Applebee's, I am talking about you. Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's like, you know how people have
fine.
like a breakup restaurant where they, I'm going to break up with this girl. I take her here. Garrett uses Applebee's in a similar way for work lunches he doesn't think are going to go well.
You're going to want to get a blueberry margarita. I'm working. You're going to want one, trust me. That place is pure trash. Chili's shits on Applebee's.
You're all about writing poems, but I'm about throwing parties. Think you should come to my party and put your hands up. I think we're totally different, but opposites do attract. Maybe we're so meant to be, just you and me. Is she secretly in love with Lord?
Dude, the last three lines, she just like completely 180s and makes you go, oh, were you just like shoving her because you liked her so much? That's what it sounds like. She just completely reverses course and is like, on second thought, maybe we should be besties.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the real impact of the song is we spent some time together. Everyone said we were so similar and we would definitely be best of friends, but it just didn't work out. And we will probably record music together, but that's all it will be, a business relationship.
Mm-hmm. You're a real Garfunkel.
So talented, and I hate you. Folks should now listen to my now infamous Simon and Garfunkel episode. Don't remember what it is or what it's called. Figure it out.
Track number 11, Apple.
This really plays fast and loose with metaphor.
Yeah.
It's a catchy pop song, but I do fail to fully understand what she's talking about at least half the time.
Okay, let's see if we can figure it out.
I guess the apple don't fall far from the tree, 'cause I've been looking at you so long, now I only see me. Hanging out with relatives or parents?
I think so.
I want to throw the apple into the sky. Feel like you never understand me. So I just want to drive to the airport, the airport, the airport, the airport.
Yeah, so listen, we've had this very conventional life, and I've often thought I see myself in you, and I feel like if I stay here, then I'm just going to grow up and turn into you, so maybe I want to move to somewhere like Paris, or maybe the House of Saud. We'll see.
Or a mansion in Westchester where I'm going to raise gifted children.
Perhaps. Maybe I wrangle a Wolverine into submission, or maybe I go to a fancy hotel in Dubai, and maybe the gentleman I was there with ends up on the street down 100 flights below me. You know.
Maybe me and 3 of my best buddies take a guy, hack him up into a bunch of pieces, pack him into some suitcases, and head on out the back of a consulate.
Jesus Christ.
What, Tim? It was a fucking hypothetical. Oh, I just described the Khashoggi incident, didn't I?
Yeah.
Cheeto, you're supposed to raise the little green flag when I'm doing that. You raised the red one, and that was the go-ahead.
I think I understand what the problem is.
I doubt it. I do too. Somebody needs to work on their goddamn flag signals.
Yes.
Anyway, back to this song. I guess the apple could turn yellow or green. Wait, hold on. You know what? I just want to say, if you hate your parents, you can say a lot of mean things to them. Maybe avoid saying, I just don't want to grow up to be like you. Unless you have Shia LaBeouf's dad, in which case you should say exactly that.
What did Shia LaBeouf's dad do?
He's a monster, Tim. I don't have time to get into it, but Google it.
Okay.
He basically saw what Macaulay Culkin's parents did to him and was like, yeah,
I'll have one of them.
I've got one of those.
Huh.
Yeah,
all right.
There's a reason why that guy's super fucked up.
There's a reason that guy works out in cowboy boots.
And jeans. And no shirt. That's how you get kicked out of an LA gym, folks. I'll saint it. Anyway, back to this song, I guess. As I was saying, I guess the apple could turn yellow or green. I know there's a lot of different nuances to you and me. Is she saying everybody's different and you gotta accept them? Or is she saying that yellow and green is some sort of corruption or failure?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it's that, right? She is a very red apple. I know that much.
Oh.
Well,
once in a while you say something that truly evokes a generally surprised response from me. And your insistence that she is in fact a red apple is fascinating.
Again, Garrett, I might have synesthesia.
You really might. Interesting.
But also she doesn't like yellow or green, right? Those are her oogie colors.
Okay, yes, you did mention that. Is she 4?
Yes.
No, niece. That's how she talks.
15?
34.
I don't know.
No, she's 30. Yeah, but she talks like my niece who's in 2nd grade. Anyway, song continues, and this is where I get a little confused. I want to grow the apple, keep all of the seeds, but I can't help but get so angry. You don't listen. I leave. To the airport, the airport, the airport, the airport, etc. What are the seeds and what is the apple?
I really don't know. This metaphor gets lost on me.
Because I thought she was the apple.
I don't know what it means.
So I think she's maybe saying she wants to guide her own growth.
Sure.
She wants to continue to grow away from the tree and not give her parents any of her seed?
Okay, well now you've lost me again.
Let's keep going. Maybe the only way out is through. I think the apple's rotten right to the core, from all the things passed down, from all the apples coming before. So she believes that she is genetically a bad person, right?
Or just passed down by maybe a long lineage of MI6 agents who...
Right, who have taught her to be nothing more than a cold, calculated killing machine.
Yes.
And expert luggage packer, coincidentally. This is where the metaphor officially dies. I split the apple down, symmetrical lines, and what I find is kind of scary. Makes me want to drive. Drive. I want to drive. Gonna drive all night, etc., etc. The only thing I can think of here is that perhaps she's doing a lot of therapy, and she has split herself down, and what she's finding out about herself is kind of scary.
Sure.
Or she's, facing those demons that I mentioned earlier, that hypothetical with all those, very real PTSD symptoms. She's really facing those, and she just has to go to drive all night just to get over it.
Yeah, also possible. To our younger listeners who are just beginning a career in espionage, do not go to a non-agency sanctioned therapist. That therapist will get shot in the face.
Yeah, that's really awful to see.
Yeah, and they always let you come to the session to stumble upon it. One, to see if you can, get out of there. But the other, just to let you know this is your fault.
Yeah, you didn't read the handbook. It's on the last page. Then we get, this is important, 34 do-yous, and that allows us to move on to track number 12, B2B.
This is, and this is true, barely more than Charlie saying back 242 times, and it fucking sucks. This is an excellent example of why the rule of 11s should be instituted on all albums, or, according to Genius Lyrics Annotator Bruh Moments 22, this is the largest shit in the mother toilet of the year.
Wow. That's a statement.
Harsh.
Let me give you an alternate take. Great song.
Incorrect.
Song begins back to back to back to back to I don't want to fall right back to us. And it kind of continues like that. Maybe you should run right back to her. I don't want to go back to you. I don't want to go right back to you. So, Tim, here's what I'm thinking. Every great spy has a genesis, a backstory, an instigating moment, and perhaps hers was this gentleman, a roustabout, a physical abuser, someone who took advantage of Charles. And she said no more. She stood her ground. She left this man, possibly Magnus, and joined the elite world of espionage and spycraft. But he's backed him. And he wants, and she loves him, but she knows she has fought so hard to get away from this life, this monster. Maybe this is her Moriarty. Maybe this is her Jackal. They have a relationship. When he learned what she had done, he became an arms dealer for Croatia, let's say.
Got one of those vibranium arms. I get it.
That's not what I said at all. Oh, this is the first 80 or so backs in a row. Ugh. The dance beats kick in, pop lyrics, song continues. Took a long time, breaking muscle down, building muscle up, repeating it. So she's been training her mind and her body to avoid this man, or perhaps even be strong enough, Tim, to murder him if he ever returns.
Yes, and she's kind of hoping he does.
Oh, yeah. Then, in case there was any worry that we've been incorrect in our reading of the album up until now, we get the very point-blank statement, I don't want to feel feelings. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Yep.
You're a monstrous murderer.
Some more backs.
64 of them as I count, with a lot of heavy moaning and breathing, and I'm into it. It's a good song. I don't want to get right back to you. It's a little monotonous and grating.
Track number 13, Mean Girls.
In a sheer white dress, wearing last night's makeup, all coquettish in the pictures with the flash.
This is a scathing indictment of someone.
Well, maybe. Lots to get into here. Let me say before we even talk about the content, if you know someone and this is her favorite Charles Xavier song, run. Songs like this and people who love them are typically the type of people, and I'm just making generalizations here, don't be offended, folks, are the types of people that use a song like this as anthems or excuses for being a nightmare.
Yes.
And that's not cool.
No, don't be a nightmare.
Song begins. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and she's out there in the sheer white dress wearing last night's makeup, all coquettish in the pictures with the flash on. Worship Lana Del Rey in her AirPods, yeah. So is she mocking this lifestyle or worshiping this lifestyle?
I think she's mocking it. Like, it's one of these things that, sure, I do it too, but I do it ironically.
Interesting. See, I thought it might be the description of some sort of female American psycho. Someone who would have absolutely no problem murdering these stupid dudes that are hitting on her until 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. But little do they know she's a trained assassin and spy.
That's kind of
fun.
So
she's out there looking like this little, what's that director you love so much?
What?
What's the director you love so much? The man director that you enjoy so much. Who is it?
I don't know.
Zack Snyder, you can't.
Oh.
God. Anyway,
it is. Yeah,
looking like some sort of Zack Snyder wet dream, thinking that she's all innocent and coquettish, and in reality, she's fucking, my name is Domino Harvey. Mm-hmm. And she just fucking, blasts him in the face.
Now, I noticed you named this character with your last name, which
it's a movie. It's a movie.
Telling. But also, I feel like in both scenarios, scenarios, the initial and also the reveal, it is in both cases a Zack Snyder wet dream.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. First one, then the other. Either way, he came twice.
Right. First you, then me, then you, then me, then you, then me, then lunch, then you, then me.
Then you, then me. Yes. Yeah, she's in her mid-20s, real intelligent, hedonistic with the gravel drawl and dead eyes. You said she's anorexic, and you heard she likes when people say it. Think you already know her, but you don't.
Yeah, I love this idea that this is all just an act to attract the worst, the Von Dutches of the world.
Yeah, she seems like she's all drunk and innocent, and then, oh, what you doing out so late, love?
That is a terrible impression of a Middle Eastern prince, by the way.
It is. It was actually a pretty bad impression of anybody. But in any event, it was a drunk gentleman hitting on a woman who appears to be helpless laid out at night. And in reality, she's about to do a lot of throat punching and groin stomping.
Yeah.
Just blowing off steam.
Yep. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. and she's out there with the razor-sharp tongue stuck to skinny cigarettes, calls him daddy while she's fingering a gold cross. And she's kind of fucked up, but she's still in vogue. Yeah, she's in her mid-20s, real intelligent, and you hate the fact she's the Big Apple's darling. You said you said she's problematic, and the way you say it, so fanatic. She thinks she already knows you're obsessed. I think you're right on. She is a danger who looks very attackable, I think, is what she's going for.
Yeah, she's trying to look innocent.
Yeah, and then there's a fun, like, actual piano breakdown halfway through the song, and it is really fun before she just repeats the chorus about 7 times.
Oh, God. Yeah, she sure does, though. It's about a minute straight as I timed it.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to, God, we're getting there. We're getting there, team. Track 14, I think about it all the time.
Think about it all the time, that I might run out of time, but I finally met my baby.
Now, this is perfect for this album, right? This is about how she wants to be a mom. She wants a regular life, and she is worried that her life as an international spy is not conducive to motherhood, and or that she might get murdered before she meets that right guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Or how do you get out there and start murdering people when you're carrying around a 4-month-old baby?
I think at 4 months, it's still okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think about it all the time that I might run out of time, but I finally met my baby, and a baby might be mine, because maybe one day I might, if I don't run out of time, would it give my life a new purpose? So, right, she's thinking about it. She knows the guy, but is she gonna have enough time? Is she gonna be able to make it work, right?
Yeah. Will she be murdered before she can get pregos?
Absolutely, and possibly because I was walking around in Stockholm, seriously thinking about my future for the first time. It was ice cold, playing demos on my iPhone. I went to my friend's place and I met their baby for the first time. How sublime. This is weird. Like, if you were friends with her, because I mean, they get very specific, right? Standing there, same old clothes she wore before, holding her child. She's a radiant mother and he's a beautiful father. And now they know these things I don't. It's actually somewhat insightful, right? That they're like, you look exactly the same, but you know, also there's a baby now. That's weird. Point being, if this is an actual story, I'd be a little irritated if she's just like, I'm sorry, you thought I was a... What do you think about me?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah.
Let's see. She says, would it give my life a new purpose? Obviously wondering if she would lose the desire to kill if she was suddenly nurturing a human life. I say no, but that's just me.
Yeah, but you don't know. You've only had one of those two things.
That's right. Guess which one?
We all know which one.
And they're exactly the same, but they're different now, and I'm so scared I'm missing out on something. So we had a conversation on the way home. Should I stop my birth control? Pause my career? Because my career feels so small in the existential scheme of it all. And then there's an breakdown, which is rage-inducing.
Yes. Yeah, so this is...
Don't have a baby for FOMO.
That's right. That's what we should say.
Yeah. If you want a baby, that's your right. But don't do it because you think you might be missing out.
Yep.
Or maybe she needs to have a baby in order to transition into her new undercover role.
Oh, well, in that case, just rent a baby. I'm sure there's like the agents that are out in the field, like they've got a daycare thing, MI6, and they like loan those babies out to somebody that's playing a mother that day.
Baby agents?
The babies aren't the agents. The babies are the beards.
Well, surely they've got some sort of training, Tim, if you're going to put them in that situation.
Absolutely not, but they are just covered in...
explosives.
I was going to say surveillance equipment, but I like yours better. That's a baby bomb.
Flame retardant gel and explosives.
Track number 15, 365.
Yeah, I'm in that 365 party girl. Should we do a little key? Should we have a little wine when we go real?
Dude!
Yeah, this
on the heels of Should I Have a Baby?
No,
The answer is no.
because this is about doing a bunch of cocaine in a bathroom.
An ode to constant cocaine use.
Yep, bumping that. Bumping that.
Yeah, it samples the first song, bumping that, bumping that, bumping that, bumping that, bumping that. Ah. She says, when I'm in the club, yeah, I'm bumping that. When I'm at the house, yeah, I'm bumping that. 365 party girl bumping that. Should we do a little key? Should we have a little line? Ah. Want to go real wild? Then I'm bumping that. I mean, there's not a lot to read into here. She likes the cocaine.
Or she likes to look like she does cocaine so that somebody will come to the secluded bathroom with her without their guard up. Somebody rich and powerful and about to be slaughtered in a bathroom.
And would be unlikely to say no to a pretty girl asking to do cocaine with them in the bathroom.
Absolutely.
Who's going to say no to that, Tim?
Nobody
what
ever
part of that
has.
sentence sucks? None. Yeah. That's the equivalent of, that's the equivalent of, would you like to go to this bathroom and do cocaine with an attractive woman? Sorry, there's nothing quite on par. Show me how to use this key, governor.
She might sound like that. Nobody knows.
Anyway, she probably sounds a lot like Charles Xavier. Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that. Now I want to hear my track. Are you bumping that? Till the windows crack, I'll be bumping that. No, I never go home. Don't sleep. Don't eat. I do it on repeat. Keep bumping that.
And yeah, we get another reference to the fact that she just listens to her own music. And that's the most off-putting thing I think that is on this album.
Well, it shows that the cocaine talk is not bluster. She is accurately describing somebody on a bunch of cocaine, a self-obsessed monster.
That's fair.
Bumping it, bumping it. Bumping, bumping, bumping. It's a terrible song. Let's see here. Then, right. The entire song stops so they can say bumping it 14 times in a row. Then the bass really kicks in, and I'm into it, Tim. It's a fun song. It's irritating, but it's a fun song. It's super loud, but if you're on cocaine, it's probably pretty awesome.
Oh, we should say if you're on cocaine, this is a great album. Conversely, if you'd like to get into this album, may I suggest cocaine?
Yeah, don't do cocaine. But if you're going to listen to this album, do it.
No, if you're on cocaine, give this album a try.
There you go. We're not advocating the use of it. You've already gone and done the drug. We are scot-free. I'm just saying. If you're already on cocaine, give it a listen.
Yeah, you might like it.
Tim, how did this do?
Pretty well. It was a #1 album in Australia, Croatia, Ireland, New Zealand, and the UK, but only hit number 5 on the Austrian 3 chart, number 11 on the Finnish Suomenverlinen lista, number 8 on the Icelandic Turnlisten, number 7 in Lithuania, number 12 on the Swedish Sverigetoplisten, number 7 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade, and number 4 in the Dutch. It also won a few Emmys, and weirdly, critics loved this. This was the highest rated album of 2024 according to Metacritic. It is the 16th highest rated album of all time according to Metacritic. It was rated as the best album of the year by Billboard, Consequence, Entertainment Weekly, The Guardian, Big Apple Times, NME, Pop Matters, Rolling Stone, Stereo Gum, and The Washington Post. Although they've been captured by a billionaire, so I don't know if I trust them.
They all have.
Yes. We also, Garrett, have a Robert Christgau review.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's still doing it. Doing it. Bumping it. Bumping it. Would you like to play
That's the
it?
Frank Reynolds song. doing it. Doing it. That's what it is. God damn it. I've been trying to figure that out since whatever episode it was you started singing it.
The Doing It episode. What do you mean?
Right. Oh, it was the LL Cool J episode.
Yeah.
Doing it well.
Doing it. Anyway, Garrett, we've got a Robert goddamn Christgau review. No matter what the gossip sheets are selling, this is not where Scottish, Gujarati, Ugandan beatmaker In Spite of Herself XCX buries the figurative hatchet with Irish, Croatian, Kiwi singer-songwriter, if you insist, Ella Marija Lana Yelchi O'Connor, aka Lord. That hatchet was imaginary, just for show. Instead, this is where Charlotte Emma Atchison, aka Charli XCX, and also the one-woman embodiment of everything we mean by novelty act, arranges a bleeping nosegay of the kind of sound effect hooks she's been known to apologize for when she was in a bad mood, and put her own name, or quote-unquote name, on an album constructed from dance, or quote-unquote dance tracks, whose charm is a beefy artificiality that surpasseth understanding. After all, understanding is a bore. Garrett Harvey, based on that pile of nonsense, what did Robert Christgau think of this album?
It surpasses.
No, it's not. It sure isn't, Garrett. It is surpassive.
Master of voices. Is it a letter grade?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go B+.
Oh my God, Garrett. B+. How do you do it?
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm an
it's
idiot.
cheating.
Great. Tim, what else did normal people think of it?
Well, there are 504 total Amazon ratings, 4.6 out of 5 stars on average, 81% 5-star, 2% 1-star. Most of these aren't good, but I do have 2 for you. The first one is by Murray, who said, I don't know what a Brat summer is, but these tunes are fantastic, from 2024. I like him. As a middle-aged cis male, I have listened to this more times than I care to admit. 5 out of 5 stars.
Okay. You can just like stuff. It's okay to like music. Like, it doesn't really matter what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's wrong with people?
Crisis Center closed for repair in 2024 said, I wanted to see what the hype was about when Kamala posted it. Very disappointed. This is just a generic pop disco LP where a quote-unquote singer who uses autotune. There isn't a natural or real instrument on this forgettable disc that no one will remember when summer's over. It's all quote-unquote beats and synths someone did on a computer. It's all cold artifice for the TikTok generation, none of whom have ever been to a jazz club. I bet
this person's horrible.
I bet the concept of people actually playing real unamplified instruments would blow their minds or just bore them to death. This is what happens when school stopped teaching band. Kids have no concept of artistry. John Coltrane practiced 16 hours a day. Brat was made by people who can't play an instrument. Maybe I'm too old. I haven't been to a club since you could get into Chinchilla for $5 cover, and a shot and a pop was $2. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe that's a good thing. 1 out of 5 stars by Crisis Center closed for repair.
What? Well, here's the interesting part. Despite the fact that we rip on all this stuff, like, you and I would never say people who play an instrument and people who make beats are like somehow wildly different.
No.
They're still making music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't put them on different footing. Now, whether or not I enjoy them, instrument and style agnostic. It's just if it's enjoyable to me or not.
I don't know. Sometimes you can tell that people who make beats have never even been to a jazz club, Garrett.
Hey, Charlie! Have you ever even heard of John Coltrane? Please stop interrupting.
This is supposed to be a quiet acoustic set.
This was okay. Oh, but she's never even heard of Coltrane. Like looking at a 16-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Huh? I don't. This man's scaring me.
Let's get a shot and a pop together. It's $2. It's on me.
Okay. Okay, Stephen King character. God. Good stuff, Tim. Who's this for?
Youths. People younger than me and definitely younger than Crisis Center closed for repair.
That's for sure. Final thoughts?
Yeah.
What did we learn?
Ow.
None, right?
Nope.
No, stupid. It's dumb. But you said a really funny thing in the middle that was even dumber, so that's great. So, Tim, we've been all the way through it. We've really poured over the details. Do you hate this album?
You know, not quite. I mean, I think this is definitely not for me, but it's not quite fair to hate it. I think it reflects poorly on me to hate it. I kind of hate it, but no, I'm going to say no. I mean, I would never listen to this again. To my ear, it's very off-putting and unnecessary. I'm kind of talking myself into hating it at the moment, so I'm going to stop here and say no, not yet. What about you, friend? Do you hate this? Did you get there? Did I get you there with my humor and jokes?
No. No. It's fine. It's not for me.
It's not fine. It's mediocre. It's kind of shitty. It's about people who... I mean,
it's surprising it's this popular.
Yes, that is accurate.
She's like a more put together 100 Gex.
It's hard not to be, though.
Oh, what was that song? Of course, the horse fell in the Porsche.
Something like that. Put the horse in the Porsche and drive it to the pool, I think.
Of course.
Of course.
Put the horse in the Porsche and drive it to the pool, of course. If it ain't, it should be. All right, Tim, let's round third base and bring this baby home. Folks, as always, you can rate, review, subscribe, pledge your firstborn, add comments, do general things on the interwebs that give the impression to other people you enjoy the thing that we do, and then other folks might be compelled to do the same. We've got Discord servers, we've got a subreddit. You can jump on these things and do all the other stuff I'm talking about, and that's great too. Most importantly, reach out to us. That's hatePodMail@gmail.com or hatepod on Instagram or album hatepod on Twitter. Hell, I'm even G Harvey Tweets on Twitter, though I don't check it much. Reach out, tell us what you like, what you don't like, suggestions, thoughts on albums, weird stories about the songs we've been discussing, theories. Is Charles Xavier CX some sort of international spy? Do you have proof? Do you have proof that she isn't? We want to hear about it. hatePodMail@gmail.com. But for this week, that's it. Show's over. We're fucking done. I've been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson, and on April 22nd, 2025, Garrett P. Harvey said, "That's not how a small boy should be."
It's weird I don't remember that.
It
think
is.
I would.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.